everybody, and welcome to a new Sims 4 speed build here on the Wilder Side YouTube channel. Today I've gone for something not different, but I've gone about building in a different way. I've actually chosen a floor plan of an actual real house, and it's a display home. Now, here in Australia, traditionally our houses are single story, and we have materials on the roof that are likely to reflect the heat because we have warmer weather here. So we don't have these like lightweight shingles and stuff because the roof doesn't have to hold up the weight of the snow or whatever. Although we do have snow here, but in the area where I live, we don't. And so this house is called the Modern Display Home, and what I've done is kit it out or decorate it out so that it looks like something you would expect to see when you go and look at a house in a new area that's set up as a display home that a housing company might be trying to sell to people who want to build in that area. And at the moment, struggling with the roof. I had a vision for it, but because I wanted it in the modern style, but the actual floor plan didn't include the roof at all. So I wanted something that was, as I said, modern style, but a little bit different. I didn't just want the angled roofs that you see on modern houses or mid-century houses as well. And I didn't just want the small wall thingies around the roofs either. I wanted actual roofs on it. So I think I've got it worked out here now, and we have included in the home, we've got 3 bedrooms. 2 of them are set up as double-sized rooms, and one has an ensuite, so it's set as the master. We have a living room, or lounge room as we would call it, obviously a kitchen. We have a laundry. We have 3 bathrooms, so we have 2 other bathrooms that are not ensuite bathrooms. But I always find that with The Sims, more bathrooms are better than less, because, you know, when you're trying to have people and, you know, get them ready for work and for school and things, it's so much easier if you don't have to have them struggle for bathrooms. And I'm just organising here the roofs over. This one here is the I guess utility area. We're going to have a washing line there because there is a little laundry that is off the kitchen, and we have an alfresco dining / outdoor entertaining area at the back. So now just sorting out what goes really well with what. And this home also has a garage. Now again, we tend to have carports more than garages here, although lock-up garages are becoming more popular. And in fact, when I grew up as a child, even carports weren't that popular. It was more just a driveway where you parked or abandoned your vehicle, and there was no actual cover over it at all, unless you had, you know, some sort of luxury or vintage car. It was unlikely to be parked in some sort of undercover area. So now we're just getting to the internals, sorting out the actual floor plan, and I really love being able to do these lintels and then being able to build walls or you know, half walls or short walls underneath them, or fences. It adds a really nice feature. I'm glad it doesn't, you know, I'm glad you don't have to choose one or the other, although sometimes I wish we could do them over the top of each other, where you could put a higher glass over a lower wall, or I know you can put wall toppers with glass on them, but sometimes that little part of a building sort of creative process is just not possible in The Sims. So anyway, we also have our little design feature at the very front of the house, completely useless, but it adds to the feature, I guess, and the style. And you can see even here on the short walls, we have added those little fence type things with little glass on the top of the short wall. So, laying down the driveway at the front and changing it, of course, because I initially went for, as you saw, the terrain paint, but then decided on tiles instead, and a footpath from the front door around to the driveway. And I've tried to make the front of the house seem a little more formal and a little less personality, like you would see in an actual display home, where they are set up, decked out by designers. Each area of the home has a different feel, but not a whole lot of personality to it. So it lacks family photos. It lacks the type of clutter that you might see, like children's toys or, books or whatever. And you just have carefully chosen, air quotes, design type items. And they're designed to mostly as a foil to present the house itself, rather than an item that has been collected by the occupants for a reason, because they like the item, or it's part of their it's a collectible that you've collected as part of a hobby, or it's a photograph of friends or family, but in any case, so we've got these lovely black volcanic looking rocks around the place to go with the black and white exterior of the house. We don't carry the black and white theme into the interior because, as I said, very carefully architecturally not architecturally designed, an interior designer would have worked on this. And initially I put the palm trees, but then went, it doesn't go with the neighborhood, and it's not really a beach house sort of feel anyway. So we just made put the local trees in, if you like. And now I'm just searching for something that would, that front of that house feels a little bit blank to me. And I think what I come up with in the end is pretty cool, because I choose those, not those, there they are. I go back and get them, and I think it adds a really cool look to the front of the house, something that would be an architectural feature that would draw your eye, that would look very cool. If your house was, if this was your house, people would, would look at the house. It would draw the eye, and it would be a really good foil for a really sculptural type garden. And that's what people do these days, is that they don't just seeds don't just get scattered, and bushes don't just get grown, wherever they fall. Gardens are designed and carefully laid out. And I'm looking for something, there you go, to put beside the door that takes away from the harshness of the lines. This house feels very, and again, I apologize for the clock. The house itself from the exterior feels very angular and very cold. So adding in the brightly coloured flowers and, that softer decor near the front door, just in my mind adds a little bit of softness and a little bit of warmth to the overall build, but it still does feel very, very sharp and angled to me. But the interior certainly does feel much warmer. And again, I've said it before, but I can only say it again, making sure that you have, you get in your terrain painting around trees and under bushes and things, makes those garden areas look a little more realistic, because, let's face it, we're playing with a digital game here, so it isn't realistic, but it adds to the feeling that it is and really grounds the house, makes it, instead of sitting on top of the grass, it makes it sit in it. Alrighty, and now we're on to putting some lights in. So, again, I have mentioned this before, is that the lighting changes the way the colours and things look on the walls. So make sure you get your lights, even just temporary ones, up before you start putting your wallpapers up and your floor coverings on, just so that it gives you a more accurate look at the colours. And I'm working on the garage here. As you can see, we have a little car in there. And again, as part of a display home, you may have some little sports car there. I've been to display homes that have a car or cars sitting in the garage or the carport with a little sign on them to say where the car was from, what car dealership, you know, and if you go there and speak to X, you know, you get a discount or whatever. So we are filling this garage with garage type clutter, and again, it's a little bit more designed to look like that they were placed there by somebody who was just placing them for effect rather than for use, because who would place a painting storage rack in there if they don't have an artist living in the house? And I'm not even sure if there's an actual easel anywhere in the rest of the house itself. So just deciding on floor colouring, and even though I said we don't carry the black and white theme through, we do a little bit in that the windows are still with the black trim, the doors are still black, the floors, I think they end up staying white, I can't remember, but we do bring in the warmer tones with the wood, and then each room is decorated in a different type of theme, so, or a different type of colour. And you can see there we have 2 bathrooms there and the laundry, and I think I skip showing you those in the video, but I do have shots of them in the screenshots, because bathrooms, you know, how many toilets can you look at? How many different sinks can you look at? I don't know about you, but it's probably one is enough for me. So this is our first bedroom that we're onto now. This is a double room, clearly. At the front of the house, it does not have an ensuite bathroom, so even though it's a double, it wouldn't be considered the master bedroom. Certainly in Australia, ensuite bathrooms are very popular for master bedrooms. It's not just the largest room in the house, but the room that has, if there is one, that has the ensuite. So, and again, making it all the colours in the room sort of fit into a theme, which in this case is very warm oranges and golds, and we also bring in a little bit of purple. And of course, you know, green plants always makes a house feel a little more warmer and more lived in. But again, these items, as you can see, they're not related. They don't seem to have been placed there to fit a person or a personality, but merely to fit a theme. So we're on to the second bedroom, and this is a children's or a teen's room, and the theme in here is red and black, which is pretty cool for teenagers, you know, a bit angsty, bit of red and black in there. It's quite bold, but again, the items are just chosen to follow that theme and not to contribute to the feeling of personality in the room. And no wine glasses for a children's bedroom. Overall, I was really happy with the way the house came up in the end. It feels quite open without being an actual completely open plan house. And again, as you can see, we're choosing items that a child's room wouldn't necessarily have in it, but would fit the theme if it was designed by an interior designer. So, and never forget that, oftentimes we size things up, but don't forget you can size them down to fit into an area. And we did size that little fern down. So here's our little dining room, and it actually is quite a pleasant dining room. And, I'd be happy to have this in real life, or have my Sims use this house. And I think in the end we actually move our Derby Sim in, and Mr. Derby Handsome actually helps us out, showing us how the house works. So our dining room is basically blue and white, and with that warmth that's provided there by the wood wall, echoed in the tabletop. So we've kind of got the same tone, although the table's a little bit more yellow. And again, as I said, each of the rooms, it's really just followed a different theme from each one. So now moving on to the kitchen, we carry the blue theme across in here, just simply because all of this area kind of ties in together. And I really like it. I like building things that are matching, and as you can see, we've added more of the lintels in here for a little bit of interest, and we also have some, it'll take us a while, but we have some hanging lamps that hang over there to add to the light in the area. Nope, we're trying out. Some of the lights they're deceptive in their size. The pictures, you kind of have to try them a little bit, see if they fit, and see if they fit the theme of your room. And I kind of liked the way these echoed the way the windows, the panels on the windows. So kind of bringing that into the inside. And we've got this artistic display of antique coffee cups and things that might be included in a more, or less personal, but more architectural, more design type of room. And this little nook I thought was perfect for a little study area, again following the blue theme over, and we go back to it in a minute, but this is a console table that we have put in there and raised up to make it look like a shelf that goes over the microwave. The microwave itself still completely usable, so there's a great tip for you. Don't just use things for what you think they're normally used for. Have a way, or have a think about a way you can use them that's different. So it does bring me to another point though, is if you are downloading this house to use in your own game, please always place my builds with the bb.moveobjects cheat on, otherwise you will find all of these things will sink to the floor or may not even be there at all. Because if they occupy the space that something else is already occupying, they will get deleted, and it may or may not, like for example, doors might delete if there's something the other side of them, or the something might get deleted. I don't think that there's a logic to whichever item the game chooses to be the correct item, or the item that stays. But anyway, so here we are moving on to the living area, and it's quite, again, quite formal. looks like it is designed more for show rather than for comfort and to be lived in, but it still is quite a pretty room. And that sort of clumping of pot plants, okay, it works really well in your own home, but it works really well in the Sims homes as well. So don't be afraid to cluster a few plants together. Tie them together with something though. If you're going for a brightly coloured theme, then choose all different colours. If you're, in this case, I was tying them together with the colour blue. So I chose pots that fit or tied into the blue colours that we already had. Now we're moving on to the master bedroom. We've gone for something a little stronger in here, so hence the black wood that we've brought in from the outside, and I think we've gone for a black and white theme in here. I love these curtains from Island Living. I think they are so pretty and so usable in so many different ways, and they don't have to touch the ground as these windows because we've got the medium height walls here. I think they look great up off the floor like that. They're so pretty, and I would absolutely use them in my house, in my real house. So looking for items that fit our black and white theme but have touches of red. Now because that bed has some gold on it, again we've bought that in with the gold on the door handles. And I love those paintings of our Hollywood ladies there. I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that they are Bette Davis or Betty Davis, Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor, I want to say. But beautiful, very, very Art Deco style painting. I really love them. And here's our outdoor entertaining with the big fancy barbecue, and a lot of homes these days are going for what essentially is an outdoor kitchen. It's not just a barbecue and a park bench style table and benches, but it's a full-on outdoor kitchen and entertaining area. So that's what we've kind of echoed here, but I think I didn't put a sink in because I get so sick of, I don't know about you, but I get sick of my Sims going to a sink at the other end of the universe to wash a plate or get a drink of water when they are standing beside one in the kitchen. Very frustrating. Okay, and the last area we're working on is, or at least that you'll see in the video, is our the area where we've got our little washing line, and I thought it would be really cute to put some planters out here, and those other little stands, they look like little herb gardens to me, so I thought it'd be appropriate. It's kind of off the kitchen, and or it's out through the laundry that goes out is off the kitchen. So and here I am getting the debug. I love those hanging plants, and we're into our screenshots now, and you get a good look at our interior design or interior designer house. That's a couple of shots of the bathrooms that you didn't get to see. One's in blue, one's in green, and then the master in black and white, but essentially they're identical. Our gorgeous little kitchen, which I really love. The dining area, which is really quite cute. Our living area, and there's our Derby Sim working away on his laptop. Our laundry and our garage, and onto the exterior. And we are coming up to the layout, so if you want to recreate it yourself, you can. Wherever you are today, whatever you are doing, I hope you have a good one.